Hey guys, and welcome to a tech suit review. Something it feels like I haven't said for a while, with all the goggle content, the vlogs, and of course some of the girls taking over the channel. Today we're going to be casting our gaze onto Finis again, and they seem to have been up to a lot of activity recently. They've grown their pro team with the signing of Shayna Jack, adding to an already impressive lineup of Anthony Ervin, James Guy, Olivia Smaliga, Leah Neal, and Mallory Wagaman. They've also released a new stability snorkel, something I will be reviewing soon and absolutely love using. But most importantly, in 2019, they have released a new tech suit. That is, of course, the Rival 2.0. Now, it was only last year they had launched the first Rival, a big step up for them in terms of tech suits, and something I really enjoyed when I reviewed it in the summer. New 2.0, they've really refined it in all areas to make it a vastly better suit. It's something that I can't believe I'm saying. And to be honest, at first I thought it could have had its own new naming scheme. It's more than just a new Rival. But the jammers are here, as you can see, and right now they only come in this sort of quite cool dark grey colour with these gold and silver seams, but they will be coming in some new colours fairly shortly. There's an Anthony Ervin colour scheme as well as a dark navy James Guy colour scheme, which is really cool that you have colours sort of designed by their pro athletes. There's a lot of technology going on with this suit. Most importantly, their fabric, which they call Shield Tech. It's actually made to absorb the tiniest amount of water. I don't know the science on it, but apparently this sort of absorption is slightly better than being completely hydrophobic. That being said, as you can see with me pouring some water on it, it still does a great job of being water repellent. The makeup of the outside of the suit is actually really quite odd, because most suits have more polyamide than elastane, but this actually has 44% elastane, 41% polyamide, and then a 15% of polyester. And when you feel the suit, it really is quite unlike any other suit out there. The material is quite crazy. You then have these real plasticky thick seams, and then on the inside, you have what I'm only guessing, based on its colour and feel, is leftover vapor material, which is that more papery material. As you can see, it has quite a lot of the suit dual lined. You have obviously the crotch, but then the entire back of the suit with a little bit of it coming right round onto the front on the quadriceps. You know I'm a big fan of the buoyancy that having a dual layer in a suit causes, and only suits such as the Mizuno GX Sonic and the Speedo Laser Pure Intent are actually harnessing this right now. You can also see inside, running down the hamstrings, that we have these taping seams, again something I'm a big fan of. One of these seams is completely connected to what's on the outside, that is that plasticky seam, but then the second seam here is only on the inside. Again, something that's been done now by Speedo and Mizuno to really help that snap effect on the upkick when you're dying at the end of a race, and also help you explode off the blocks and when you come off the walls, really giving you that explosive power. And that's noticeable when you're in a race. Even one of our swimmers who wore this recently at the Middle East Championships said he felt the internal taping actually feeling weird on his legs as he walked up and down the stairs. You may also be wondering why the whole suit is not dual layered, and they've actually made sure that the inner thigh is a single layer to give more flexibility, so that when you're racing any of the strokes in this suit, you feel comfort and that you've got full mobility. I've actually worn this for a 200 medley, something I don't do too often, and it was spot on. It really didn't feel like it held back any of the strokes, allowing a full range of movement, comfort, and that lift as I went through the race. Let's get the suit on and see how it fits. So I've got the suit on now. Worth mentioning, this is a size 26 that I wear, so similar to what I'd wear in a Carbon Air, slightly bigger to what I'd wear in a Speedo. I think there was potential I could size down, but the way that it fits, the way it feels in the cut is absolutely perfect. I will say this goes on surprisingly quick, which is always a positive for a tech suit. Funnily enough, apparently the woman's version is the complete opposite and is hell to put on. But I find this really, really easy to put on. It's flexible enough that I can get it over. The material's got a nice little bit of give to it. The fit, as you can see, is literally my favourite in a tech suit. You probably know by now that I like a slightly higher waist suit. This is nice and even all the way around to the back. None of it's lower or higher, it's completely even. And it feels great, you know, supporting my lower back a little bit, as well as moving into my core section, not getting right up to my belly button that I just find weird. But then what is a big difference between this and the original Rival, which also was high waisted, is that this comes up a lot higher on the knees. Now, something I hated about the Vapor, and even the Rival did, was they come almost down to your kneecap. And this gives you a little bit of space, which just really ups the mobility and the comfort of the suit. And it still supports your quads just great, your hamstrings just great. It's definitely more similar to something like the Speedo Laser Elite and the Speedo Laser X. If you like the coverage on the lower half of them, then you will like this. If you do like that, say the Vapor for example, and you like it getting a bit closer to your knee, then maybe the original Rive will be more up your street. The comfort is out of this world. That's because it is a little bit more flexible, and this material is definitely not as ridiculously tight as some. On top of that, the tightness of both the waistband and the leg grippers is spot on. Something like with the Laser X was just over the top with the waistband and leg grippers, just made you feel sort of like uncomfortable and restricted, but the actual suit didn't compress, whereas everything here seemed the same amount of tightness. So the waistband is secure, no water gets in. The leg grippers are some of the most impressive I've ever had. They've got like this sort of grippy silicone on that's like slightly rough, and the way it like interacts with your leg, it literally doesn't move. There's no way it's ever going to come up. It's not excruciatingly tight, which means it's a comfortable suit. In terms of the performance, it feels great in the water. I think that the biggest key reasons for this would be the support taping in the back of the suit and the dual layer material. When I'm kicking these seams and that additional seam inside really do whip your leg up. And I felt at the end of my 100 fly, at the end of my 200 IM, that I had something in me that I probably didn't ever feel like I'd had before, unless I was wearing a Mizuno. I think the perfect sort of spot in the market for this suit is if you want them great features such as dual lining, great fit, internal taping, but you don't want that insane compression, that super, super tight squeezing effect of the Mizunos. Personally, I love the compression. I'm a sprinter. For me, I'm always going to go for the ultimate compression with the other features than this. But then if I was to race stuff like a 400 free, 400 IMs, and definitely going towards the 8 and the 15, then this would be my choice, because I just couldn't handle being in the Mizuno for sort of upwards of 8, 9, 15 minutes. Whereas this, between races, I don't even feel it's on. I just fold it down at the top, so it's not super restrictive on my waist, and I could happily be chilling in this for a while, come to my race, fold it up, tighten it up, and I'm good to go. So I think for age groupers who are racing a lot back to back, only have one suit, then the comfort of this between races goes a long way as well. Even with that slightly less compressive material, I think the performance is out of this world, and Finis have absolutely smashed it out the park with this suit. Price is slightly expensive. It's 233 British pounds at the moment. So at the upper echelon, not quite as much as the Speedos, but more than the Mizunos and some arenas such as the Carbon Air. But as I said, you are paying top tier prices and you are getting top tier performances. I also really like how it looks. The yellow straw string gives you that little bit of Finis heritage, and I can guarantee you're going to race fast in this. That's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, a thumbs up goes a long way, as does subscribing and telling your mates to do just that as well. Let me know if you've got any experience with Finis suits or products in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.